Hello, everybody. So, just to give a quick introduction, just before I get started, Ahmed, am I audible properly? Or Muhammad, if you could just let me know if you can hear me and if you can see my screen that I'm currently sharing. All right, perfect. Sounds good. All right, thank you so much. So, everybody, I'll just give a quick round of introduction. So, my name is Anique Hakkim, and I'm part of the sales engineering team at Alteryx. I'm sure you would have seen the Alteryx presentation that my colleague Vishal had done in the morning as part of the main stage itself. So, this session is primarily to just take it a step forward and go ahead and demonstrate the solution, right? So, in the morning, you saw a couple of slides. So, just to put that whatever you learn probably into action so that you can probably join these two dots together, I'd be going ahead and giving you an end-to-end demonstration of the solution itself. So just before we get into the demonstration, I probably just wanted to introduce you into the concept itself, just to reiterate the fact on what we do, just take you through the suite of products that we have and the capabilities that resides in each one of them, and then we'll jump right into the demonstration of the solution. So just to get started, what Alteryx does is provides an end-to-end analytics automation platform, right? And what we do is our platform provides a unified end-to-end analytics experience, and it enables everyone to easily create transformative business outcomes, right? And another main advantage that I would speak about is it serves all the personas who need to collaborate, for example, to just turn data into insights, right? From data engineers to business users to analysts to IT, anybody who needs to collect, manage, and curate data for use across the business, this is where the Alteryx Analytics platform comes in. And what we do is we pretty much go ahead and take this data and we convert it into insights, right? And we enable organizations to be data driven organizations. And one thing that you can see is no matter where your data resides, right? It could, I was just part of the Snowflake session that we just did. So if it resides in a Snowflake data warehouse, we can automatically connect to it. Even if it's a normal SQL database, an Oracle, if it resides within applications, if it's Excel files that we work with on a day-to-day basis, we can pretty much go ahead and collect data from any of these various different sources. So we've got 80 plus connectors available out of the box. And once it's done, whatever we need to do with the data, be it transforming the data itself, do the specific data preparation, blending, enrich the data, taking it a step forward in terms of doing like advanced analytics, be it reporting, be it geospatial, or if you want to go ahead and apply data science, be apply machine learning, do certain kind of predictions or forecasting, all of that can be done with the Alteryx Analytics platform. And lastly, if you want to go ahead and automatically generate insights from it, or for example, if you're using a visualization tool currently within your organization, you could do that. Or if you want to go ahead and prepare a ready-made PDF report and send it out by email, that's possible as well. Or else you want to just probably put it back into the data warehouse itself. That's also possible with the platform. So we pretty much provide an end-to-end analytical experience where, of course, you have the technologies that you have within the organization today. So what Alteryx does is it sits on top of those. So it works with your existing architectural landscape of your data itself, and it goes ahead and gives you insights based on your current landscape. So if I just go ahead and give you a quick introduction on the products that we have. So Alteryx has a complete suite of products, right? From cloud products to on-premise as well. So probably a lot of you might be already aware of it with our flagship on-premise products, be it Alteryx Designer or Alteryx Server. But we also have a complete full-fledged analytical cloud solution. So what you'll see is with our solution, we support quickly and easily generating insights, generating predictions, and the main thing is it's completely code-free, right? Automated machine learning, or be it whatever you want to do. And if you want to know a quick introduction into each one of these, what I can tell you is I'll be pretty much demonstrating a lot of these products today in as part of today's demonstration. But to start with, we've got the Designer Cloud powered by Trifactor, right? So I'll start with the cloud products and then we'll describe the on-premise products as well before we go into the demonstration. So with Alteryx Designer Cloud powered by Trifactor, we can go ahead and get your data, source your data from a variety of different siloed data sources. We can go ahead and transform it, load it into your data warehouse of your choice, right? Be it Snowflake or whatever you're deciding to use. And we can pretty much go ahead and give you those trusted data pipelining from an end-to-end perspective. So Designer Cloud powered by Trifactor pretty much goes ahead, takes data from your cloud data sources, uses cloud native functionality in order to go ahead and transform it and load it, and then we can go ahead and put it into your desired data source of your choice. Once that's done, we can pretty much use our machine learning in order to go ahead and give you accurate and approachable data science. And the main advantage of our machine learning models are it's very easy to go ahead and build it, right? So it's extremely gives you a completely guided interface to go ahead and build the machine learning models. That's something that I'm going to be showcasing in today's session as well. And lastly, we've got the Alteryx Auto Insights, which pretty much accelerates speed to insight for everyone across your business. So it gives you an automated data storytelling for business users and creates breakthroughs, right, within minutes itself. It gives you the analysis that it needs with the data that you have. So instead of you going ahead and manually creating dashboards in order to generate insights from it, Alteryx Auto Insights gives you that within minutes itself without you doing any work at all. And lastly, of course, for our flagship on-premise Alteryx Designer desktop, it gives you that complete visual interface for you to go ahead and prepare your data, blend it, apply your spatial analytics, apply machine learning, and it gives you that drag and drop capabilities, which allows you to be capable for self-service analytics, right? So that's what enable business users to go ahead and build your own analytics, access to the data itself. Because currently we see it generally if somebody needs certain kind of data, they go out to IT and request for the data itself. But with Alteryx, we pretty much go ahead and enable your business users to go ahead and do self-service analytics. And that's exactly why our platform is extremely easy to use and you don't need any coding at all. And lastly, to go ahead and scale up and share your automation, the ones that you go ahead and build your analytic processes. So we that's where the Alteryx server comes in, which is a complete web interface which allows you to go ahead and publish the workflows that you go create out of Alteryx Designer and go ahead and share it, schedule it, and completely automate the outcomes that you get, right? And of course, from out of the platform itself, we've got a complete built-in data connectors, we've got API connectivity, we've got collaboration controls, governance, and intelligent AI-driven capabilities, right? So all of that comes out of the box itself. So before we go into the demonstration of it, does anybody have any questions? All right, perfect. Yes, please. Any questions or shall we move ahead? All right, perfect. So the first thing that I want to speak about is actually going ahead and what I spoke about, which is a designer cloud powered by Trifactor, which is a completely cloud native solution, right? You can go ahead and deploy it on your virtual private cloud as well. That's completely supported if you have the data residency or the data privacy issues within the organizations. So what designer cloud powered by Trifactor does is we can pretty much go ahead and connect to any data source, right? It can be, if you want to go ahead and look at the list of various different connectors we have available out of the box, you can see over 145 different connectors, be it Snowflake, be it Oracle, various different CRM applications that we go ahead and support, databases, file APIs, marketing applications. So you can pretty much go ahead and connect to any specific data source of your choice. You go ahead and connect to the data, and once that's done, this is where we can go ahead and transform the data, right? And this is where we get a complete data profiling view that you get. So just by ingesting the data itself, I've gone ahead and I'm injecting it gives you each of the columns that you can see, it automatically gives you AI suggestions as well. So if I go and select on unit price today, it automatically gives me a suggestions as to what I probably need to do. Do I need to go ahead and delete rows? Do I need to rename it? Do I need to do certain kind of calculations? All of that, it automatically goes ahead and suggests to you based on your specific request that you have. And if you want to take it a step further, if you want to go ahead and build in certain kind of rules, like for example, you want to create a new column, for example, between two different dates, that's something that you can go ahead and do. You want to go ahead and sort a specific row, that you can go ahead and do. And it's very easy, right? You can see it's something like similar to an Excel, the way we've gone ahead and done it. If you want to filter it out rows on a specific column, it gives you a complete, like very self-intuitive interface. If I need to go ahead and sort it by unit price, I go ahead and choose a specific way and it automatically sorts and create the rules entirely. So this is a platform which is built for going ahead and automating your complete pipelining, where you can go ahead, visualize your data, profile it, understand it, do the necessary transformations that's required And once it's done, we can go ahead and completely automate it as well. So this is a piece where we're doing a supply chain sort of a use case where we're going ahead, getting the information for a warehouse order transactions, going ahead, doing the cleaning of the data, preparing of the data, going ahead and transforming it in a certain way for us to go ahead and do further analysis on it, and we can completely go ahead and automate it, right? So we can go ahead and run these various different flows that I've just gone ahead and shown, and based on the success or failure, I can go ahead and do various different actions and create a complete workflow around it. And this can be completely scheduled as well, where if you want to go ahead and schedule it on a daily basis, a weekly basis, monthly, or you want to go ahead and set a custom chronology, that's something that you can go ahead and do as well. So this is the first aspect that I wanted to go ahead and showcase. We're going ahead, sourcing your data, automating your complete data pipelining, and do the request specific ETL or the ELT aspect of it, right? Where we're going ahead, extracting the data, loading it, and then transforming it. Now, once we've gone ahead and pretty much gone ahead and transformed the warehouse order transactions to our desired specific format, this is where we can come into Alteryx Designer. And this is our flagship desktop product where we can pretty much go ahead and connect to various different data sources and do the specific transformation that's required, right? So if you can see it's completely various different building blocks that's available out of the box. If you want to connect to data, you can go ahead and drag and drop an input data button. You want to go ahead and clean up your data, you just drag and drop a data cleansing tool. Apply formulas, you can drag and drop the formula tool. Join two different data sets, you use a join, and so on and so forth, right? You can go ahead and transform your data. You can go ahead and do spatial analytics if it's required, if you want to do analysis on various different maps, for example, or if you want to go ahead and apply machine learning, that's something that you can do as well. Now, taking it a step further, for example, we spoke about it and showed it to you from the Designer Cloud platform as well. The same thing with the Designer Desktop, you can see various different file types which are supported and the various different data sources as well, right? From Snowflake to a Redshift to an SQL to a Azure, pretty much everything is supported out of the box itself. Now, once we go ahead and connect to this, now if you want to go ahead and understand the data that we've got a list of transactions which has happened at the warehouse, right? From the warehouse sales data that we've got from the POS system, and then of course we've got the geospatial data for these various warehouses that we have. And from the designer itself, we can go ahead and see a complete map view, a map analysis. We can go ahead and generate a heat map. All of that can be done completely out of the box by utilizing the spatial tools as well. Now, once we go ahead and prepare the data, we can go ahead and join these to various different data sets just by choosing, just like how we do a VLOOKUP within Excel, just choose these two data sets, connect it to the join command that we have out of the box. And once we go ahead and join the data from these two different data sources, we can go ahead and do certain calculations, right? In this case, we're calculating the sales, which is nothing but unit price and quantity. That's the new column that we've created. And something that you can see is you have complete auditability and traceability throughout the entire process, right? So you can see at each stage, okay, this is the data coming in from transactions. This is the data which is coming out, which is joined in nature. This is the data which is before the formula is applied. This is the data after the formula is applied. You can see the new column sales which has come in. So it pretty much goes ahead and gives you complete auditability and traceability to do whatever transformation that you need. And as you can see, it's completely business user friendly. So pretty much anybody with a couple of days of training or utilizing Alteryx can easily get to know what is possible within this tool itself. And to take it one step further, for this particular supply chain analysis, one thing that we needed to go ahead and do is we could see that, some of these warehouses are holding or keeping on or holding on to stocks because of which some other warehouses were not getting this required information from it. This is where we can go ahead and apply machine learning algorithms to it in order to predict whether an organization or a warehouse is going ahead and hoarding a certain specific material or not. And it's as simple as that, right? We have a complete guided experience in order to go ahead and build these machine learning models. So all you can do is drag and drop an assisted modeling tool, and we can just start this step, right? So takes you through a guided approach in order to go ahead and build your machine learning models. So what you start off with first is, what do you want to predict? I want to go ahead and predict whether somebody is hoarding a specific item or not, if it's a yes or no. So that's what I go ahead and choose. And it just takes you through a complete guided approach. So the first thing is it automatically goes ahead and sets the data type for you. if you are a business user and you're not aware of what different data types are, it gives you a complete glossary on what an ID is, what is categorical, what is numeric, what is Boolean. All of this, it automatically gives you out of the box itself. And it gives you suggestions based on it and automatically gives you a recommended approach. But now, if you want to take your own decision and override these decisions, of course, you can go ahead and do that as well. Now, once you go ahead and set the data types, if there's any missing values, it automatically gives you a suggestion to go ahead and drop the feature or replace it with the mean of the value. Because, for example, if we're going ahead and predicting sales and I see a lot of the sales values are not available in my current data set, I need to pretty much go ahead and do something, right? Or it might affect the accuracy of my machine learning model. This is where we have different options to go ahead and take care of if the data set has missing values. Now, once we go ahead and do that, now this is the option where, based on our business knowledge, we can go ahead and take a decision to say that what are the features through which I can go ahead and predict if somebody is going ahead and hoarding it, and how can we go ahead and predict it. And it automatically gives you a suggestion that, you know what, warehouse ID probably is not a good feature for you to go ahead and select, and maybe zip code isn't as well. So we can go ahead and see these various different predictors. I'll say that, you know what, order ID is probably not good as well. I don't think it makes a difference whether the order ID is available or not. So this is where your business knowledge comes in. You can choose what features are required in order for you to go ahead and make a prediction. Now, once you go ahead and do that, all you need to do is go ahead and click on next. It automatically gives you a suggestion on various different machine learning algorithms. What use cases can it be used for? What are the pros and cons for each one of these? So in this case, I'll say that, you know what, I probably want to go ahead and analyze all of them. So all you need to do is just click on run selected algorithms, and it automatically gives you a suggestion that, you know what, out of all of these four different machine learning algorithms that we ran, XGBoost is giving you the best results. This is the accuracy that it's giving you. So you should probably go ahead for it. And what are the decisions through by which, or what are the features by which we went ahead and selected XGBoost? It gives you a complete interpretation that, based on quantity, based on order priority, based on the SLA and ship mode, is how we came ahead and chose XGBoost as the perfect machine learning model. And all you need to do is go ahead and select XGBoost and click on add models and continue to workflow, and automatically all of this is generated, right? So it gives you a complete guided experience to go ahead and do machine learning. So you don't need to be a proper data scientist. Even business users can go ahead and predict, uh, create their own learning models in order to predict various different metrics. And once we go ahead and create the machine learning model, we can go ahead and test. For example, this is a list of new order IDs that I've got. Now, based on this, I want to do a specific prediction whether this materials are being hoarded or not. And we can get a complete output which gives me a complete reference whether for each of these products, running the machine learning algorithm, which are being hoarded and which are not being hoarded. And based on this, I can go ahead and take data driven decisions. So this is how we can go ahead and utilize Alteryx in order to go ahead, do a complete end-to-end analytics, right? From the sourcing of the data to preparing, blending, applying advanced analytics, and then going ahead and doing the predictions and giving the outcome to the business itself. So once you go ahead and build out this workflow, this is where you want to go ahead and give the access to this workflow to multiple different business users, right? You probably want various different people to be able to upload files, for example, of new order IDs, or probably help them choose certain parameters to run it. So this is what is possible by utilizing the Alteryx server. So with the Alteryx server, it gives you a complete web interface where you don't need to go ahead and install anything on your machine. You can go ahead and segregate your various different workflows that you've built based on the business functions that various different users belong to. So finance users can only see finance workflows, HR users can see only HR workflows. In this case, we're doing a supply chain analysis, so they can only see the supply chain workflows, right? So now if I need to go ahead and run a specific workflow, all I can do is just open up a specific workflow. If I want, I can go ahead and schedule this. So just to automate that data pipelining process, to go ahead and take the data at source and generate the automated insights from it. Or I can just choose to go ahead and run it directly from here itself. So in this case, if I need to go ahead and run it, I've been signed out. So I'll just go ahead and quickly sign into my specific designer. I'll just go ahead and click on run, and it's as simple as that, right? If I need to go ahead and give certain parameters during my run, I can go ahead and do that as well. So that's a capability that's available. And once this workflow, you see, it takes probably around 5 seconds for it to run. And as soon as it's completed, we can go ahead and open up the results, and we can see, in this case, a PDF has been generated. So I can probably go ahead and download it just to see the sort of insight that's been generated. So I can see a complete heat map based on the distribution centers, and I can see the various different warehouses and the total sales that has been generated for it. So you can go ahead, give the outcomes through PDF files, or you can visualize it directly here. You can give an Excel file, you can generate a PowerPoint, a Word document, whatever, right? Based on your business processes, we can completely customize the solution. Or we could as well go ahead and say that, you know what, at the end of the workflow, we want to send an automated email to the senior stakeholders for them to go ahead and have a look at it. That's something that's possible as well. So this is how we go ahead, the workflow that you saw, which we go ahead and build on the Alteryx Designer, where we go ahead and publish it onto the Alteryx server in order to go ahead and probably schedule it, or you want to run it, or you want to download and collaborate with various different users. So if somebody else from the supply chain team comes, sees that, okay, such a workflow has been developed, they want to go ahead and make their own tweaks to it, change the workflow around a little bit, apply their own logic to it, they can go ahead and download it. And all of this can be controlled by role-based access control, so that only the people with the right access can go ahead and do these various different functions. And lastly, once all of this information is done, what we're doing is, once we prepare the data, we're pushing the data into Auto Insights, the platform that I spoke to you about, which is an automated data storytelling platform, which automatically generates insight for you without you doing any configuration whatsoever. So this is where you can go ahead and see the Auto Insights. All I've done is taken the data, prepared it within the designer, and gone ahead and pushed it onto Auto Insights. And here it automatically generates all this insights for you, right? So you can see the various different measures, for example, days late per transaction, the shipping cost, the sales. I can see various different analysis that is automatically done. Now, one issue that I see here is, you know what, for my supply chain, I see days late per transaction has increased to 4.72, and it's increased by over 9.67% from the previous month. So I want to see what has actually changed. So I can see a complete trend analysis on how my data has been transformed for a period of time. I can change this date period as well. If you want to compare it versus previous year, that's something that you can do. But in this case, I want to go ahead and analyze it via previous month. Now we can see this has happened. Now, what caused this? So I can see exactly what caused this. I can see, for example, a delivery truck. This is the change that has happened. From a warehouse perspective, I can see, for example, this Aurora warehouse has contributed over 0.33% to the specific amount, right? That we've gone ahead and increased. And now, if I want to even drill down further into the warehouses aspect of it, I can see a complete drill down in terms of what were the key changes that occurred, what was the biggest changes, what were the outliers in terms of what contributed to this days late being changed. All of this can completely be done. You can see the most impact, the large increases, the largest decreases. So all of this and whatever information that's required for you in order to go ahead and understand why your data is pretty much going ahead and transforming, that's something that you can do automatically by looking at this. You can see the outliers of your data. So it gives you a complete automated generated insights in order for you to go ahead and understand what's happening within your business. So probably you want to understand what revenue has changed and why did the revenue change over the last year or the last month, or compare it to your last quarter, for example. All of that will be automatically generated for you by the Auto Insights platform. And lastly, we can also automatically generate a summary for you. For example, for your supply chain analysis, these are the three measures, right? For example, from your days late per transaction, what actually caused this? The shipping cost, what actually went ahead and caused the change for this specific aspect? Or your sales, what actually compared, or what caused for your sales to increase or decrease during this period? All of that, you can get a complete insight on this, and you can probably go ahead and say that, you know what, I want this email to be sent to the various different users on a daily basis at 2 p.m. so that they can see how your information is changing over a period of time. And this can be completely automated, and you can see it come into your email inbox on a day-to-day basis. So if you see here my specific email inbox, which I'm showing on my screen, it gives me an email every day which says that, you know what, for this specific supply chain insights, this is how it's comparing over a period of time. This is how the shipping cost is changing. So this insights can be automatically delivered to your email as well, uh, on the frequency of a choice. So any questions on anything that I've shared so far? anything that we've seen until now from anybody in terms of the demonstration from your designer cloud, where we can go ahead and yes, please. Yeah. Yeah. All right, perfect. So I'll just finish off with probably you've seen a couple of use cases, like a couple of the demonstration of it. So you can pretty much go ahead and apply it into any department, right? Alteryx as a solution is completely function agnostic. So you can apply it for your HR department, for your employee retention, from your finance, for your tax or your audit or compliance or reconciliation, for your sales, for example, you want to forecast sales or analyze the churning of your customers, to your operations, to supply chain. We saw it already. One of the from demand forecasting to inventory optimization, a lot of use cases that you can go ahead and automate. So to just finish it off, pretty much enterprises can use the entire Alteryx platform, right, to cover the entire analytics lifecycle from your data access, from your ELT, from prep and blend, data enrichment, geospatial analytics. So the vision with our Alteryx portfolio is to actually offer you one unified platform, unified for the cloud, unified for your big and small data, unified insights, and unified for users across the entire enterprise. So this is the Alteryx Analytics platform, right? And this is where we come with our messaging, which is it is truly analytics for all. So thank you so much, everybody. And if you're interested in Alteryx, you can pretty much go ahead and download a 30-day free trial. So on alteryx.com, you can just go ahead and search for designer trial, and you have a 30-day free trial to just try out the solution, see where it works. And if you have any challenges while implementing it or seeing which area we can go ahead and utilize it in, we're always here to help you. So thank you, everybody, so much for your time.